The wild animal story in English, The Call of the Wild. Deep in the heart of the dense Indian jungle, where the towering sal and teak trees stood like ancient sentinels, a great tiger named Raja ruled over his territory. His coat was a brilliant shade of orange, streaked with bold black stripes, and his eyes burned like amber in the moonlight. Raja was feared and respected by all creatures, from the smallest squirrel to the mighty elephants that roamed the land. A peaceful kingdom. Raja's kingdom stretched over miles of forest, where rivers flowed like silver ribbons and birds filled the sky with their songs. The jungle was home to many creatures: deer, monkeys, boars, and even a lone black panther named Kaala. Though Raja was a predator, he never hunted more than he needed, maintaining the delicate balance of the jungle. But peace never lasts forever. The hunter's arrival, one fateful evening, as the jungle bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, an unfamiliar sound echoed through the trees: a gunshot. The birds screeched and took flight, while the smaller animals fled in terror. Raja, alert and tense, sniffed the air. A strange scent reached him: the smell of man. A group of poachers had entered his jungle. They carried rifles and traps, their eyes glinting with greed. They were not here for survival. They were here for sport and profit. The first victim. That night, under the cover of darkness, the poachers laid their traps near the river. Early in the morning, as the mist still clung to the earth, a young deer wandered into their trap. It let out a terrified cry as a net closed around its fragile body. Raja, who was patrolling his territory, heard the distress call. His ears perked up, and he raced through the jungle, his powerful legs propelling him forward like the wind. When he arrived at the riverbank, he saw the poachers standing over the trapped deer, laughing. A deep growl rumbled in Raja's throat. He stepped out of the shadows, his muscles rippling beneath his striped coat. The men froze, their laughter dying in their throats. One of them raised his gun, but Raja was faster. With a mighty leap, he knocked the weapon aside and roared, shaking the very trees around them. Panic spread through the poachers. They scrambled to flee, leaving behind their traps and weapons. The young deer, unharmed but frightened, was set free. A new danger, but the poachers did not give up so easily. Furious at their failure, they returned with reinforcements, determined to hunt Raja down. They spread out through the jungle, setting more traps and carrying more guns. Kaala, the black panther, had been watching from the treetops. Unlike Raja, Kaala preferred to stay hidden, moving like a shadow in the night. But he knew that if the tiger fell, the entire jungle would suffer. He decided to act. The Jungle Unite's Kaala traveled through the forest, warning the other animals of the danger. The elephants stomped down the paths to destroy the traps. The monkeys swung through the trees, dropping branches and stones on the hunters. Even the birds joined in, swooping down to peck at their faces. Raja, meanwhile, stayed hidden, waiting for the perfect moment. When the poachers reached the heart of the jungle, where the tall grass grew thick, he struck. He pounced on their leader, knocking him to the ground. The other men tried to shoot, but Kaala leaped onto one of them, clawing at his arms. Chaos erupted. The jungle itself seemed to rise against the invaders. The elephants trumpeted, the birds screamed, and the monkeys chattered wildly. Overwhelmed and terrified, the poachers dropped their weapons and ran, never daring to return. The guardian of the jungle. The jungle was safe once more. The animals rejoiced, and Raja stood tall, his eyes scanning his kingdom. He knew that the balance had been restored, but he also knew that danger would always return. From that day forward, the animals of the jungle became more vigilant. They watched over each other, just as Raja watched over them. And though the poachers would come and go, the jungle remained strong, united under the rule of its mighty tiger. Thus, the legend of Raja, the guardian of the wild, lived on for generations, whispered in the rustling leaves, and echoed in the calls of the night.